I hope you enjoy the story. Let's begin. Miles Kendrick jolted awake, the clock glowing 2:07 a.m. on his nightstand. A low, unfamiliar laugh rolled through the open window of his Austin Ranch-style home, cutting the humid Texas night. He swung his legs out of bed, bare feet hitting the hardwood, and crept to the blinds. His breath caught. Lila, his wife of 8 years, stood in the backyard, her auburn hair catching the porch light as she leaned into a broad-shouldered man. Their whispers tangled with the crickets. Miles stood, his pulse hammered. There, in glossy color, Lila kissed this man, her arms locked around his neck, a neon bar sign blazing behind them. The air thickened. Miles' fingers crushed the edges, his chest heaving. "Who are you?" he rasped to the empty night, voice swallowed by the dark. Lila's laugh faded as she and the stranger slipped through the gate, her heels clicking on the driveway. Miles stood rooted, the photo trembling in his grip. The house loomed behind him, his sanctuary turned prison. He turned it over. No name, no date, just a lipstick smudge, mocking him. His jaw clenched, eyes burning. This wasn't a mistake. This was war. But who was this shadow stealing his life, and how long had he been blind? Hey, if you're still watching, that means you're enjoying the story. I have one small request. I'm trying to reach my first 1,000 subscribers. If you like stories like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to join the journey. It means a lot to me, and trust me, even better stories are coming. Now let's continue story. The Saturday sun blazed over Miles' backyard, smoke curling from the grill as he flipped burgers in silence. Lila had insisted on a family barbecue, her voice too bright that morning. Now, she flitted around in a sundress, pouring iced tea for Blair, his sharp-tongued sister, and Faye, his mother-in-law with her perpetual frown. Miles adjusted his apron, grease stinging a cut on his thumb, when a pickup roared up the drive. Out stepped Tyson Reed, 6'2", all muscle and gelled hair, flashing a grin like a used car salesman. Lila rushed over. "Oh, Tyson's my co-worker. Dropped by to say hi." Miles' spatula froze mid-turn. "Co-worker?" He caught Tyson's wink at Lila, her blush spreading. Blair clapped. "Finally, some life around here." Faye nodded. "He's got charm, Miles. Learn something." The words landed like punches. Miles forced a smile, flipping a patty that sizzled too loud. Tyson sprawled in a lawn chair, regaling them with gym stories, while Blair laughed and Faye hung on every word. Miles plated the food, hands steady despite the storm inside. He sat across from them, the photo from last night searing his pocket. "Good to meet you, Tyson," he said, voice flat. Tyson smirked. "Likewise, man. Quiet type, huh?" Blair snorted. "Too quiet." Faye chimed in. "Lila deserves fun, not a statue." The table erupted in laughter, except Miles. He stabbed his fork into a bun, knuckles white. They didn't know. They didn't care. He chewed slowly, watching Tyson's arm brush Lila's. "Enjoy it while it lasts," he muttered under his breath, the promise curling in his throat. They'd picked their side, and it wasn't his. The barbecue dragged into dusk, cicadas buzzing as Miles cleared plates alone. Tyson had left, peeling out in his truck, Lila waving too long from the porch. Blair cornered Miles by the sink, her manicured nails tapping the counter. "Look, Miles," she said, voice low. "Tyson's a real man. Lila's glowing with him. Step up or lose her, for good." She flicked her hair, eyes daring him to argue. Miles scrubbed a dish, suds dripping, his silence a wall. Faye shuffled in, clutching her purse. "Blair's right," she snapped. "You're a bore. Tyson's got fire, Lila needs that." She smirked, adjusting her scarf. "Don't drag her down." Miles set the plate down hard, the clink echoing. He turned, water soaking his sleeves, and stared at them. "You done?" he asked, voice tight. Blair rolled her eyes. "Just saying what we all see." Faye nodded. "Fix yourself, Miles." They grabbed their bags and left, their chatter fading down the hall. Miles stood still, the kitchen dimming as the sun sank. He yanked the photo from his pocket, slamming it on the counter. Lila's lips on Tyson's mocked him again. His own blood, Blair, Faye, had gutted him, picked a stranger over him. He gripped the edge of the sink, breathing hard. "You'll see," he growled, the words clawing out. "You'll all see." Outside, Lila's car pulled in. She'd been running errands for hours. Miles folded the photo, tucking it away. His reflection stared back from the window, hollow, hard. They'd rejected him, but this wasn't defeat. It was fuel. What would they say when the truth hit? Miles sat hunched over his desk in the study, the glow of his laptop casting shadows across the oak-paneled walls. The house was silent, Lila asleep upstairs, or so she thought he believed. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, then typed her phone passcode, her birth year, unchanged since they met. The screen flared to life. Texts flooded in from T, and signed but obvious. Missed you at the gym, one read. Tonight was wild, another taunted. Miles' throat tightened, his chair creaking as he leaned back. He scrolled further, months of lies stacked like bricks. His jaw locked, a vein pulsing in his neck. How long? He muttered, voice rough. The photo from the patio sat beside him, its edges worn from his grip. He slammed the laptop shut, the sound sharp in the stillness. The world, his family, his wife, had turned on him. He stood, pacing, the hardwood cold under his socks. Me against all of you, he said, fists curling. Headlights swept the driveway. Lila's car. Miles darted to the window, watching her climb out, texting furiously. Probably him. His chest burned. He grabbed his phone, dialed a number from memory. A realtor named Vic. Hey man, Miles said, voice low, I need the house sold. Fast. Cash buyer if you can. Vic paused, you sure? Miles glanced at the photo. Dead sure. He hung up, staring at the dark. This wasn't just survival, it was war. He'd build his own world, one they couldn't touch. But how deep did her lies go? Here are the next 3 chapters of They Rejected Me for My Wife's Boyfriend. Then they discovered I was his boss, Reddit family drama, following the outline and your instructions. Each chapter is over 300 words, highly engaging, detailed, and flows seamlessly with strong pacing. No unnecessary fluff, just cinematic, emotional storytelling with authentic stakes, keeping the narrative gripping and purposeful. Miles sat hunched over his desk in the study, the glow of his laptop casting shadows across the oak-paneled walls. The house was silent, Lila asleep upstairs, or so she thought he believed. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, then typed her phone passcode, her birth year, unchanged since they met. The screen flared to life. Texts flooded in from T, and signed but obvious. Missed you at the gym, one read. Tonight was wild, another taunted. Miles' throat tightened, his chair creaking as he leaned back. He scrolled further, months of lies stacked like bricks. His jaw locked, a vein pulsing in his neck. How long? He muttered, voice rough. The photo from the patio sat beside him, its edges worn from his grip. He slammed the laptop shut, the sound sharp in the stillness. The world, his family, his wife, had turned on him. He stood, pacing, the hardwood cold under his socks. Me against all of you, he said, fist curling. Headlights swept the driveway. Lila's car. Miles darted to the window, watching her climb out, texting furiously. Probably him. His chest burned. He grabbed his phone, dialed a number from memory, a realtor named Vic. Hey, man, Miles said, voice low, I need the house sold. Fast. Cash buyer if you can. Vic paused. You sure? Miles glanced at the photo. Dead sure. He hung up, staring at the dark. This wasn't just survival, it was war. He'd build his own world, one they couldn't touch. But how deep did her lies go? Miles gripped the steering wheel, the Austin skyline blurring past as he trailed Lila's silver sedan. It was Friday night, her girls' night, excuse still ringing in his ears. She turned into a dimly lit parking lot near 6th Street, neon signs buzzing above a bar called Rusty Spur. He parked 2 rows back, headlights off, and watched her slip inside. Minutes later, Tyson swaggered up, adjusting his collar, and vanished through the same door. Miles' knuckles whitened, his breath fogging the windshield. He stepped out, the humid air thick with bar noise, laughter, clinking glasses. He edged to a window, peering through smudged glass. There they were, Lila leaning into Tyson at a corner booth, her hand on his thigh, his laugh loud and careless. Miles' nails dug into his palms, a dull ache spreading. Every tear he'd choked back since that photo fueled him now. He caught a bartender's eye through the glass, a wiry guy wiping down bottles. Miles tapped the window, slid a 20 through the gap. That guy, he pointed. What's his name? The bartender smirked, pocketing the cash. Tyson Reed. Regular. Big talker. He scribbled it on a napkin, tossing it out. Miles clutched it, the name a loaded gun. Thanks, he said, voice tight. He stalked back to his car, the napkin crumpled in his fist. For every tear, he growled, starting the engine, you'll pay double. The bar's light shrank in his rear view. He had a name, a target. Revenge wasn't a dream anymore. It was a plan. But what would he do with it? Morning sun sliced through the kitchen blinds as Miles poured coffee, the mug steaming in his hands. Lila shuffled in, hair mussed, phone glued to her fingers. Work trip this weekend, she said, not meeting his eyes. Last-minute thing. Miles nodded, sipping slowly, the bitterness matching his mood. Sure, he said, voice flat. She grabbed her keys and left, the door clicking shut. He set the mug down hard, liquid sloshing. Last minute, my ass, he muttered. He booted up his laptop, digging into Tyson Reed. LinkedIn popped up, sales rep, new gig at Apex Tech. Miles froze. His company. His turf. A laugh escaped him, sharp and hollow. You've got to be kidding, he said, running a hand through his hair. His patience, 8 years of trust, of swallowing doubts, snapped like a frayed rope. He grabbed his jacket, keys jangling, and headed to the office. The Apex building loomed downtown, glass and steel glinting. Miles parked, strode past security with a curt nod, and rode the elevator to the top floor, his floor. He leaned against his desk, staring out at the city. Tyson would start Monday, clueless. Perfect timing, he said aloud, voice cold. His phone buzzed. Lila's text. Miss you already. He deleted it, fingers trembling. Patience was gone. Strategy took its place. He dialed HR. New guy, Tyson Reed, he said. Put him on my team. Direct report. The line crackled. You got it, boss. Miles hung up, a predator's smile flickering. The trap was set. How would Tyson react when he walked in? Miles hunched over his desk in the dim study, the clock ticking past midnight. The glow of Lila's email inbox lit his face, shadows dancing across the oak bookshelves. He cracked her password, same as her phone, predictable. His fingers scrolled through a graveyard of secrets, hotel receipts from San Antonio, flirty messages to T, and a photo attachment, Lila and Tyson grinning at a rooftop bar, her arm slung around his neck. Miles' chair scraped back, his breath hitching. 8 years, he muttered, voice raw, and this is what I get? He clicked another email, dated 3 months ago. Can't wait to see you, Tyson wrote. Lila's reply. Miles suspects nothing. We're good. His fist slammed the desk, a pin rolling to the floor with a clatter. The room spun. He stumbled to the window, yanking it open, letting the muggy Austin air hit his face. Crickets chirped outside, oblivious to the storm inside him. His phone buzzed. Vic, the realtor. Found a cash buyer, Vic said, voice crackling. House closes next week. Miles gripped the sill, knuckles white. Do it, he said. Sell it all. He hung up, staring at the empty bed upstairs through the doorway. Lila was away again, probably tangled in Tyson's sheets. Miles grabbed a notepad, scribbling. Step 1, cut her loose. The pen shook in his hand. He tore the page, then dialed Vic again. One more thing, he said, voice steadying. Get me a penthouse. Downtown. Cash. Vic whistled. Big moves, man. Miles' eyes narrowed. You have no idea. The secrets were out. The game shifted. He tossed the photo into a drawer, slamming it shut. What would she say when she came home to nothing? Here are the next 4 chapters of They rejected me for my wife's boyfriend. Then they discovered I was his boss. Reddit family drama, each between 300 and 400 words, rich with immersive details, compelling dialogue, and smooth pacing. The narrative flows seamlessly, packed with vivid descriptions and deep character moments, keeping it engaging and purposeful, no senseless fluff. Miles hunched over his desk in the dim study, the clock ticking past midnight. The glow of Lila's email inbox lit his face, shadows dancing across the oak bookshelves. He cracked her password, same as her phone, predictable. His fingers scrolled through a graveyard of secrets, hotel receipts from San Antonio, flirty messages to T, and a photo attachment, Lila and Tyson grinning at a rooftop bar, her arm slung around his neck. Miles' chair scraped back, his breath hitching. 8 years, he muttered, voice raw, and this is what I get? He clicked another email, dated 3 months ago. Can't wait to see you, Tyson wrote. Lila's reply. Miles suspects nothing. We're good. His fist slammed the desk, a pin rolling to the floor with a clatter. The room spun. He stumbled to the window, yanking it open, letting the muggy Austin air hit his face. Crickets chirped outside, oblivious to the storm inside him. His phone buzzed. Vic, the realtor. Found a cash buyer, Vic said, voice crackling. House closes next week. Miles gripped the sill, knuckles white. Do it, he said. Sell it all. He hung up, staring at the empty bed upstairs through the doorway. Lila was away again, probably tangled in Tyson's sheets. Miles grabbed a notepad, scribbling, "Step 1, cut her loose." The pen shook in his hand. He tore the page, then dialed Vic again. "One more thing," he said, voice steadying. "Get me a penthouse. Downtown. Cash." Vic whistled. "Big moves, man." Miles' eyes narrowed. "You have no idea." The secrets were out. The game shifted. He tossed the photo into a drawer, slamming it shut. What would she say when she came home to nothing? Monday morning dawned sharp and bright, the Apex Tech building gleaming like a blade against the Austin skyline. Miles stood in his corner office, hands clasped behind his back, watching the parking lot below. A black pickup roared in Tyson's. The man hopped out, adjusting his tie, swagger in every step. Miles' lips twitched, a hunter sighting prey. "Right on time," he murmured, voice low. The glass walls of his office reflected his crisp suit, his face a mask of control. He pressed the intercom. "Send the new hire up," he told his assistant, Mia. Her voice chirped back, "Tyson Reed, right?" Miles nodded, though she couldn't see. "That's him." The elevator dinged minutes later, and Tyson strode into the open-plan floor, flashing grins at coworkers. Miles watched from above, his pulse steady, a predator's calm. He stepped to the railing, leaning over. "Reed," he called, voice cutting through the hum. Tyson's head snapped up, eyes squinting. "Yeah." Miles descended the stairs, each step deliberate, shoes clicking on metal. "Welcome to Apex," he said, extending a hand. Tyson shook it, gripped too tight, smirked too wide. "Thanks, man. Heard the CEO's a ghost. Guess I'll meet him eventually." Miles' smile didn't reach his eyes. "Oh, you will." He turned to Mia. "Set him up in the East Wing. My team." Tyson clapped his shoulder. "Sweet gig. I'll kill it here." Miles shrugged off the touch, skin crawling. "We'll see," he said, voice ice cold. Back in his office, he locked the door, staring at Tyson's resume on his desk, sales awards, gym selfies. "You're in my crosshairs now," he whispered, crumpling the page. The trap was baited. The conference room buzzed with Monday's staff meeting, Apex's team crammed around a sleek oak table. Miles stood at the head, projector humming behind him, his tie a sharp line against his white shirt. Tyson lounged near the back, legs sprawled, chatting up a junior coder. Miles cleared his throat, the room falling silent. "Good morning," he said, voice smooth as steel. "Some of you know me as Miles Kendrick. Most don't. I'm your CEO." A gasp rippled. Tyson's chair creaked as he bolted upright, papers sliding off his lap. His jaw hung slack, eyes darting. Miles met his stare, unblinking. "New faces today," he continued, clicking the projector. Tyson's headshot flashed on screen, cocky grin, Jim Tan. "Tyson Reed, sales. Reports to me." Whispers erupted. Miles raised a hand, silencing them. "Big project coming. Reed, your lead. Details tomorrow." He leaned forward, voice dropping. "Don't disappoint me." Tyson fumbled a pen, dropping it with a clatter. Yeah, boss." "Got it," he stammered, sweat beading on his brow. Miles turned off the projector, the room dimming. "Dismissed," he said, watching Tyson scramble to his feet. As the team filed out, Miles caught him at the door. "A word," he said, shutting it behind them. Tyson shifted, uneasy. "Look, man, don't," Miles cut in, stepping close. "You're mine now. Work hard, or you're out." His voice was a blade, low and lethal. Tyson swallowed, nodding fast. Sure. Miles opened the door, gesturing him out. "Good." Alone again, he leaned against the table, exhaling slow. The mask had slipped. Tyson knew who held the leash. But did he suspect the why? Miles stood at his office window Tuesday morning, coffee steaming in his hand, the city sprawling below. Downstairs, Tyson hunched over a desk, buried in the project Miles had dumped on him, a sales pitch for $1 million client, due Friday. Impossible for a rookie. Perfect for revenge. Miles sipped, the bitter taste grounding him. His phone buzzed Blair. "Lila's upset," her text read. "You're distant. Fix this." He snorted, deleting it. "Watch me," he muttered, setting the cup down. He strode to the east wing, glass walls reflecting his shadow. Tyson typed furiously, dark circles under his eyes. "Progress?" Miles asked, voice crisp. Tyson jumped, knocking over a water bottle. Getting there," he said, mopping it with his sleeve. "Tough ask, man? Sir." Miles tilted his head. "Deadlines don't care. Impress me." He turned, catching the team's stares, wide-eyed, whispering. Word had spread. The quiet CEO was a force. Back upstairs, Mia knocked, her tablet glowing. Board's thrilled with your push, she said. Stocks up. Miles nodded, leaning back in his chair. Good. Keep an eye on Reed. He's drowning. She grinned. On it. The day stretched, emails, calls, power solidifying. At dusk, he glanced out again. Tyson slumped, defeated, as coworkers left. Miles' phone lit up, Faye this time. Be a man for once, her voicemail hissed. He laughed, cold and short, and hit delete. He grabbed his keys, the penthouse waiting. They'll watch me rise, he said to the empty office, voice firm, and choke on it. Power felt good, better than tears. But how long could he keep Tyson blind? Miles leaned against his office door Wednesday afternoon, the hum of Apex Tech's open floor buzzing below. His phone vibrated. Lila, again. Where are you? House is empty. He smirked, pocketing it unanswered. Downstairs, chaos erupted. A junior coder, Priya, stormed past Tyson's desk, her voice sharp. You sent that? To Slack. Tyson's chair spun as he bolted up, face paling. What are you talking about? Miles stepped to the railing, peering down. Priya held up her tablet, screen glowing. Your girlfriend's texts, genius. Everyone's seen him. Gasps rippled through the cubicles, heads craning. Miles descended the stairs, slow and deliberate, his pulse quickening. The Slack channel flashed on a monitor, screenshots of Lila's messages to Tyson. Miles is clueless, one read. Love our secret, another taunted. Tyson grabbed Priya's arm. Delete that. She yanked free. Too late, lover boy. Miles reached the crowd, his shadow falling over Tyson. Problem? He asked, voice low. Tyson's eyes darted, sweat beading. No, sir, just a mix-up. Priya snorted. Mix-up? Your side chick's blowing up our chat. Laughter broke out, sharp and cruel. Miles tilted his head, studying Tyson's flushed face. Sounds personal. Handle it. He turned, hiding a grin as whispers exploded. CEO's here. He saw it. Back in his office, he locked the door, pulling up Slack. The thread was viral. Co-workers piling on memes, questions. Truth's a brutal friend, he muttered, leaning back. His fingers hovered over a reply, then stopped. Let it burn. Tyson's desk was empty when he glanced out. Fled, probably. Miles' chest loosened, a weight lifting. The chaos had cracked the lie wide open Thursday evening. Miles stood in his new penthouse, floor-to-ceiling windows framing Austin's twinkling skyline. Boxes littered the hardwood, his old life reduced to cardboard. He popped a beer, the hiss sharp in the quiet, and raised it to the view. To new beginnings, he said, voice hard, the bottle cold against his lips. The house sale had closed that morning. Lila's key useless now. He'd drained half their savings too, wired to his name alone. Checkmate. His phone buzzed. Vic, buyers thrilled, the realtor said. You're officially out. Miles paced, boots echoing. Good. Penthouse settled. Vic chuckled. All yours, man. 25th floor, killer view. Miles hung up, stepping onto the balcony. The city hummed below, alive and indifferent. He leaned on the railing, wind tugging his shirt, and pictured Lila's face when she'd walked into an empty home. Betrayal cuts both ways, he murmured. A knock jolted him. He swung the door open, delivery guy, pizza box steaming. First meal here, Miles said, tipping big. The kid grinned. Sweet place, dude. Alone again, he sprawled on the couch, no furniture yet, just freedom. His laptop glowed with Apex updates. Tyson's project was a mess, deadline looming. Miles sipped his beer, the taste sharp. Drown in it, he said to the screen. The penthouse felt like a throne, high above the wreckage he'd left behind. He kicked a box aside, paper spilling, old photos, Lila smiling. He tossed them in the trash, jaw tight. I'm done, he said, voice steady. This was his kingdom now. Friday morning, Miles strode into Apex, the glass lobby reflecting his crisp blazer. His office phone rang as he settled an unknown number. Kendrick, he answered, voice clipped. A man's growl came through. You think you're slick? Huh? Miles froze, chair creaking. Who's this? The voice sneered, Garrett Voss. VP, sales. Tyson's my guy, and I know your game. Miles' grip tightened, mind racing. Garrett? The slick suit from board meetings? You're out of your depth, Garrett said. Lila was mine first. I set her up with Tyson to bury you. Miles stood, pacing to the window, the city blurring. What? He snapped. Garrett laughed, cold and sharp. She's my ex, wanted you gone, your house, your job. I pulled strings. Miles' fist clenched, nails biting skin. You're lying. Garrett's voice dropped. Check your email, genius. Photos don't lie. The line went dead. Miles yanked his laptop open, inbox pinging. There's shots of Lila with Garrett, years back. Then Tyson, a timeline of betrayal. His breath hitched, chest pounding. Son of a, he slammed the lid, storming to his desk. Garrett's office was 2 floors down. Miles had leverage now. You're next, he vowed, voice trembling with rage. He sank into his chair, staring at the photos on screen. Justice had tasted sweet until this. Garrett wasn't just a cog. He was the machine. Tyson was a pawn, Lila a weapon. Miles rubbed his temples, the room spinning. Too sweet, he muttered, a bitter laugh escaping. The twist cut deep. His revenge had a bigger target. Miles spent Friday afternoon in Apex's server room, the hum of machines drowning his thoughts. He'd pulled Garrett's files, expense reports, client deals. His fingers flew, cross-referencing dates with Lila's emails. Bingo, cash funneled to fake vendors, signed off by Garrett. Fraud, bold and sloppy. Miles printed the proof, pages stacking like ammo. Your empire's dust, he said, voice low, the printer's whine echoing. He marched to the boardroom, dust painting the windows orange. The directors sat rigid, suits crisp, as Miles slapped the evidence down. Garrett Voss, he said, voice cutting through the silence. Embezzling for years. Look. Papers slid across the table, gasps followed. Chairwoman Elise leaned forward, glasses glinting. This true? Miles nodded. Check the logs. He's done. She dialed security. Escort Voss out. Now. Minutes later, Garrett stormed in, flanked by guards. What's this? He barked, eyes wild. Miles stepped close, voice steady. You're fired. Cops are next. Garrett lunged, fist raised, guards pinned him. Is Ty Askew? You'll pay. He roared, spit flying. Miles watched, unflinching, as they dragged him out, his shouts fading down the hall. Tyson lingered outside, pale, watching through glass. Miles caught his eye, nodding once. Your mentor's gone, he said through the door. Sink or swim. Tyson's shoulders slumped, defeated. Miles turned back, the board clapping slow. Well done, Elise said. He exhaled, tension draining. Garrett's empire, built on lies, had crumbled in hours. Monday morning, Miles sat at his desk, sunlight streaming through Apex's windows. Tyson knocked, tie crooked, eyes bloodshot. Sir, he mumbled, clutching a resignation form. I can't do this. Miles leaned back, fingers steepled. Can't do what? Tyson shifted, voice cracking. The project. The pressure. You. Miles took the paper, scanning it. You slept with my wife, he said, voice flat, eyes piercing. You don't get to quit easy. Tyson flinched, hands trembling. I didn't know. Miles stood, towering. Sign it, he snapped, tossing a pen. You're done here. Tyson scribbled, head bowed, and slid it back. I'm sorry, he whispered. Miles ripped the form in half, tossing it. Not enough. Get out. Tyson bolted, nearly tripping, the door slamming behind him. Miles paced, adrenaline surging. He'd crushed Tyson Garrett too. His phone rang, Lila. He answered, voice ice. What? She sobbed, you sold our house. My stuff's gone. He laughed, sharp and cold. Your boyfriend's out of a job too. Enjoy. She gasped. Miles, please, he hung up, cutting her off. The line went dead, her pleas silenced. He stared out at the city, chest heaving. Boss of their nightmares, he muttered, a grim smile tugging his lips. Tyson's career was ash, Lila's world unraveled. He'd turned their betrayal into his weapon. Tuesday night, Miles sprawled on his penthouse couch, laptop open, pizza box beside him. A notification pinged. Read it. He clicked, scrolling r/ATA. A post blazed, my CEO husband destroyed my boyfriend. Lila's words, twisted, he sold our house, ruined Tyson's life, all over a fling. Comments exploded. Karma's real. Dude's a legend. Miles' jaw tightened, reading on. She's delusional, one wrote. CEO deserves a medal, another added. He leaned back, the screen's glow flickering across his face. Echoes, he murmured, voice low. His phone buzzed Blair. This you online? She asked, panicked. Lila's freaking out. Miles snorted. Let her. She wrote it. Blair huffed. You're brutal. He hung up, tossing the phone. The post hit 10K upvotes, memes flooding, Tyson lifting weights labeled ego, crushed by CEO Miles. He stood, pacing to the balcony, city lights pulsing below. The internet had turned his revenge viral, a wildfire he hadn't lit. Good, he said, wind whipping his hair. Let it spread. His hands gripped the railing, knuckles white. Lila's sob story had backfired. Public justice stung harder than he'd planned. Wednesday evening painted the penthouse in soft gold, the Austin skyline glowing through Miles' windows. A sharp knock broke the quiet. He opened the door, and there stood Blair and Faye, faces streaked with tears, clutching purses like lifelines. Blair's voice trembled. Miles, we messed up. Faye wrung her hands, scarf slipping. We didn't know about Lila, Tyson. We're sorry. Miles leaned against the frame, arms crossed, his silence heavy. Blair stepped closer, mascara smudging. You were right to fight back. We picked the wrong side. Faye nodded, voice cracking. Please, son, forgive us. Miles' jaw tightened, the air thick with their regret. He glanced past them. Empty hallway. No Lila. You laughed in my face, he said, voice low, cutting. Called me dull while she cheated. Blair flinched, Faye's lip quivering. We were blind, Blair whispered. He straightened, towering over them. You chose him. Live with it. He shut the door, the click final, their muffled sobs fading as he turned away. The penthouse hummed, his sanctuary, untouchable. He grabbed a beer from the fridge, the cold glass grounding him. Family, he muttered, taking a long sip. Too late. The fallout had hit them hard, their betrayal mirrored back. He kicked off his shoes, sinking into the couch, the weight of their words lingering. Had he won, or just cut deeper? Thursday night, the penthouse door rattled under furious pounding. Miles opened it, and Lila stormed in, mascara rivers down her cheeks, hair wild. You ruined me. She screamed, voice cracking, slamming her purse on the counter. The leather split, spilling keys and a crumpled photo of her and Tyson. Miles crossed his arms, watching her pace, heels clicking on hardwood. You sold our home, took everything. He stepped forward, voice steady. You built this fire, Lila. I just lit the match. She spun, eyes blazing. I loved you once. He laughed, sharp and cold. Loved me? You loved Garrett's plan, then Tyson's bed. Her hand flew up to slap him. He caught her wrist, grip firm. Don't, he warned, releasing her. She stumbled back, sobbing. I'm broke, alone, because of you. Miles grabbed the photo, tossing it at her feet. You chose that. Here's your key to nothing. He pulled a spare from his pocket, dangling it, then dropped it in the trash. Get out. Lila froze, breath hitching, then snatched her purse and fled, the door slamming. Miles stood still, the silence roaring. Ashes of their life smoldered, hers in ruin, his rising. He exhaled, shoulders easing. Drama's done, he said, voice firm. Friday morning, Miles walked Apex's east wing, sunlight streaming through glass. A young coder, Jamal, waved him over, code glowing on his screen. Boss, check this new app idea, he said, eyes bright. Miles leaned in, nodding. Solid. Run it by me Monday. Jamal grinned. Thanks, man, you're different lately. Miles clapped his shoulder, a rare smile tugging his lips. Good different, I hope. He left the office at noon, jogging along Lady Bird Lake, the path crunching under his sneakers. Sweat dripped, the breeze cool against his skin. For the first time in months, his chest felt light, no anger, no weight. He paused by the water, hands on his knees, watching kayaks glide past. This is mine, he breathed, voice soft, the city's pulse syncing with his own. Back home, he unpacked a box, books, a framed degree, not hers, just his. He hung the degree on the wall, stepping back. Peace, he said aloud, the words settling in. The phone stayed quiet, no pleas, no threats. He cooked steak, the sizzle filling the penthouse, and ate alone, savoring every bite. Rebuilding wasn't revenge, it was reclaiming. Could this calm last? Saturday dawned crisp. Miles sipping coffee on his balcony, the city waking below. News hit his phone, Garrett indicted, fraud charges stacking. Tyson's LinkedIn showed seeking opportunities, his swagger gone. Lila's car was spotted at a rundown motel, whispers of her scrambling for cash. Miles set the mug down, the ceramic clinking. They lost, he said, voice steady, and I won. At Apex, he unveiled a fund, support for betrayed spouses, funded by his bonus. The board cheered, Elise shaking his hand. You're changing lives, she said. He nodded, chest swelling. Someone has to. Later, he stood at his window, suit sharp, watching traffic crawl. I'm enough, he said, voice firm, the words a vow. The city hummed, justice sang in its rhythm. He scrolled Reddit one last time, his story still viral, comments praising his rise.